Oh, hello guys, hello everyone. Good morning, fam. Good evening, fam. Good afternoon, fam. So we're waiting for guys to come. Eugene. Machesmo Eugene. Good morning, brother. You non-stop with your videos. Keep on coming. Yeah, Eugene, we're going hard this time, you know. There is so many downloads coming in. So when it comes in, we share. When it comes in, we share. So, but this one is going to be very interesting. Let's just wait for a couple of guys to come in. Guys, if you're on board, give us a shout. Who is on board? Where are you watching from? What's the weather looking like your side? Let us know in the chat box, in the chat room. Oh, we're waiting for guys, people. As soon as they come in, life is good. Machesmo, it's nice to join us, Machesmo Eugene. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're waiting for guys to come in. Guys, it's sunny out here. These days I'm trying to Erika White is saying dating is like pulling. That was a nice one. Oh, man. Oh my God. Dating is like pulling teeth nowadays. Guys, we're going to dive in. Today we are going to be open. Guys, we're going to be open about the dating because I know every one of you is wondering what exactly is going on. Where are the girls? Where are the guys? We are going to dive into this subject. We want to see what exactly is going on with the dating scene nowadays. Maybe I should switch on this light. So you guys are wondering, where is the ladies? Where is the gents? Where is my soulmate? Where is my twin flame? I'm going to let you guys in. I'm going to fill you in today. What exactly is going on when it comes to dating of awakened individuals? I'm still hopeful, Erica. Keep on being hopeful. It will come at the right time. When the time comes, the partner will meet you on the way. That was a nice one, Erica. It's like pulling teeth. Actually, truth be told, but actually, there is some truth in that, you know. I'll give some guys minutes to come in at least. We shall start in about 5 minutes. It looks like dating is not a walk in the park these days, you know, when it comes to awakened people. We're all singing the same song, you know, so it's like that. Mochesmo, thank you for your donations, $2. So for the guys who are coming in, please hit the like button. Number one, very important. Hit the like button. Number two, you hit the like button. Number two, you are let us know who is on board, where you're watching from, what's the weather looking like. Number three, you can always drop me a super chat if you like my content. If you want to support me, drop me a super chat. You don't have to, but it's always appreciated if that's what you feel like doing. So I would like to explain, guys, exactly what is going on. We all have the same anthem. Awakened individuals, chosen ones, we all have the same anthem. What exactly is going on in the dating scene? We need to go diving deep. We need to dive deep into this one. We need to know what exactly is happening. Okay, Michael Awudu from Nigeria. Nice to join us, Michael. Nigeria. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for joining us. So, we have about 3 minutes and we start. 15 people on board. Okay. Ayanda Kuwaitle. Ayanda, South Africa is so hot. How we miss the sun. Ayanda, South Africa. BMAC, thank you for joining. Stranger Than Fiction from Germany. Hesia or Hesia. Very cloudy, rainy, good vibes. What more can you ask for? Blessings. Okay. Happy Thursday, everyone. Who is watching? Where are you from? What's the weather like? You hit the like button. Thanks, Eugene. Much appreciated for the $20. I appreciate you, Eugene. Thank you for the $20 donations. For the other guys who are just joining in, please, who are you? Where are you watching from? What's the weather like? Give us a like. So BMAC says it's 15 degrees in Michigan. Okay. What's even the weather here, for starters? So it's 14 degrees in the UK. Wow, okay. So we have about 13 people on board. Upstate New York in the house. Okay. So guys, something happened very mysterious in those early days when I was waking up. Something very mysterious happened. I thought I was going crazy. I thought, is it me? Or I could not really figure out what was happening. So first of all, the greater narcissist came in about 3 months. It was about around 3 months, I think. I would say maybe 2 or 3 months. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go into dating. So this individual popped up out of nowhere. And then I would later on find out that this particular individual was up to no good. I was thinking that this particular individual is a narcissist, you know. I was seeing all these things. There was like patterns. I was like, there's things I've already seen. And I really, honestly, guys, to be honest, I was not ready to go that direction. I was like, I've already walked this journey. I've already been 7 years in this journey of narcissistic abuse. I was not going to participate in getting involved with any narcissist, regardless of who they were. Didn't matter if it was parents, I don't know, friends. I just had to say this was enough. I was not going to participate. So I let the great narcissist go. Then in those days, in a few, I think it was around a month or something, I was like, okay, I could try again. Let's see if I can try again and see if things can work out. I met another date those days. We're talking about, I think it was around 2020 in those days. So I met this date. Even before, on the first date, exactly on the first date, I was like, this is another demon. Guys, these demons were jumping all over the place. These demons, it's like they know, they can smell something with the, you know, they can smell, they can almost feel your energy, you know, so they're jumping all over the place. And they're coming in to date you. This one wants to date. So that demon came in. I figured out this was a demon. I sent it out. I sent the demon out straight away. Then I noticed, guys, let me tell you something very important, guys. Then I noticed actually these demons, it was a chain. I want you guys to listen very closely in this video. Then I noticed in those days, it was a chain of demons. So one demon, when I would figure out one demon, I sent that demon out. The next one came in. And these demons, you meet them in the most unexpected places. Guys, you cannot believe. Maybe you're somewhere shopping. Maybe you're somewhere, you're shopping. I appreciate you, Helengi Wengubo. So you're shopping. You are in the supermarket. You are in the trains. You are in the public transport. You are at the train station. These demons came in. I was thinking in my mind, where's this demons coming from? Those demons will come in. Guys, let me tell you something. There's one thing about awakened individuals. When you're awakened, you're going to notice there is things that you can see that is unbelievable. That demon came in. I did not even let that demon to go on to the next date. So that demon straight away, I canceled that immediate date straight away. When I just saw a few patterns and a few moves here and there, I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. And then eventually, that one left. Then I think it was around 2 months later. I cannot really say exactly. I don't remember. Another demon came in. Then I was like, there's something going on here. There's something wrong with this. So so what I did in those days, so I was trying to see, because you see, when you awaken, you're trying to see if you are fit. If you're an awakened individual and you awaken, and you finally come to that realization that you're awakened. So you start to find out maybe something's may have gone wrong in that previous relationship. You want to see if you can give it another try. You know what I mean? You always have sometimes that little benefit of doubt. You say, okay, that person may not have been nice for you. So let me try with that one. That one comes in is just simply the next demon. The other one comes in, it is the next demon. Now you're going to start realizing that these demons are moving in a sequence. It's like when you leave this one. I don't know if somebody's knocking. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so I'm expecting somebody to come. So if that person pops up. So I was like, I was starting to see the sequence much more clear. Everything was in broad daylight. Somebody would just appear. They say one or two words. Then you notice they're starting to figure it with their words. You will see they're starting to move different. And then you're thinking this is probably another demon. So I was very, very vigilant in those days. But I remember something very mysterious happened. A lot of demons were popping in. Then I was like, okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to first of all step aside. I needed to step aside. I needed to see what was happening. So I stepped aside. And I was like, I need to see people from a distance first. I need to understand what is going on, where are these people coming from. And then in those days, eventually, I was like, somehow, I find my purpose. Then I was like, let me start, sharing these things and, videos here and there. Let me try to see if I can do something with my life. Because one thing what I noticed with these demons, those demons were coming in, and most of the times I noticed whenever I was with them, especially after the greater narcissist, I noticed that most of the times during that time of confusion, it was very hard for me to focus on my goals. So I couldn't figure out if I wanted to do a video. I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Let me leave this one for today. Let me do it tomorrow. Let me do it the next week. I was putting off things. Sometimes I was being delayed by stuff. Sometimes there was something wrong with the equipment. Then I figured out that there's something wrong. There is a particular set of demons. These demons, they know that this individual is awakened. So what they are doing, they are rushing in. And the only reason why they're rushing in to block you from carrying on and going on wherever it is you want to go and doing that thing, whatever it is you want to do. So most of the times they are coming in to interrupt. I can call it interrupt or intercept your growth and your process. Because I've told you guys, chosen ones, I've told you when you wake, you're starting to move different. You're starting to get enlightened. You're starting to get a lot of information. You're starting to know a lot of things. Sometimes you're finding things that you want to do. You are somehow stepping out of your comfort zone. And sometimes many people want to say you're leaving the matrix. So most of the times when you're leaving the matrix, it is very obvious that there is people behind that you've left sleeping. So there's people, you look behind, and you're noticing that there's people who are still asleep. So they're very, very deep asleep in their sleep. You come around and you're telling them, hey, listen, guys, this is what is happening. Open your eyes. This is what is this. This is what is that. You try to explain things to people. Nobody's understanding you. Nobody gets you. So in most of the cases, an awakened empath is going to struggle. Most of you guys, you may be wondering, why is it possible that, how is it possible? Nobody else understands me. I cannot date this one. I cannot date that one. I cannot get into a relationship. I cannot find a meaningful relationship. It is almost impossible to date as an awakened empath. It's going to be unbelievable, guys. I can guarantee you this. So, and there's also one thing what happened. I remember when I was sending out those demons, I called them demons, but you guys already know we're talking about narcissists, because it's no longer a secret that these are just demons that have been sent your way to bring a lot of destruction and chaos. So I'll just use the word demons because it's no longer a secret that these are just demons, simply demons. So I was thinking in my mind that these demons, there is a pattern. Now, when I was sending out these demons, something was happening in those days. So when I used to send out those demons, I would let it be known to them that it is it. That is it. We are not going ahead with this dating thing and this and that. Let's just leave it. I'd already seen who they are. Sometimes even they would not know that I'd already figured them out. So I would just send them out anyway. Those demons, they would come back and try again. I would send them out again. They would come back the third time and try again. So these demons, they was keeping on, coming on and on. It's like they just keep on coming. You send that one the first time, they come back the second time. One thing what I want to let you know, chosen ones, in this video, when you awaken, you're going through a shift. You're going through a shift. And that shift is moving you from the old paradigm, the lifestyle you used to live, the things you used to do, the environment, the world as you used to know it. Now you're moving out of that old world, which people call the matrix. You're moving out of that box and you're coming out to become a free being and to do better things in life, because eventually you realize you're here for bigger purpose. You're here for better things. You're not here just to live an ordinary life. Just going in circles and dating narcissists. Then you leave one and then the other one comes in. You leave one, the other one comes in. You're realizing that this thing has got to stop. So you want to do better in life. You want to achieve better things in life. So what usually happens, you look around you and it comes to that time like everybody else. Of course, it always comes that time whereby you feel, okay, you're worthy of love, you're worthy of a relationship, you're worthy of a partner or things like that. Sometimes it can get lonely, because I've told you guys this journey of awakening is also a very lonely journey. So sometimes you're waking up, but you're very lonely. You know what I mean? It comes to that point whereby you're lonely. The loneliness, guys, that is one of the hardest part. And I think maybe that's the reason why some people, post-awakening, you hear people going back to sleep. The loneliness is unbelievable. So when we're talking about being lonely, getting lonely, you can understand that most of us have been there. We have already seen and tested that loneliness. So it comes to that point whereby you get used to that loneliness. And you're like, okay, you're going to take it easy. It's lonely. Yes, you understand it's lonely. But at the end of the day, the universe is also pushing you out of your comfort zone, because the universe, before you understand who you really are, because you see, the thing is, when you're waking up, you're supposed to go out and first of all figure out who you really are. Who are you in the first place? What are you all about? Where have you been and where it is you want to go? So you're going to start figuring out of those things. And most of the times, the universe doesn't want you to do this thing with anybody. So the universe doesn't want you to be with a partner. The universe doesn't want you to be with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, things like that. Even sometimes the universe, as simple as friends, you will see the universe removing some friends from you. And then you're thinking that, how come yesterday I was with this person and then all of a sudden they have switched up on me? People, they start acting funny. People, they start moving different. People, they start hating you for nothing. Sometimes if you're awakening and you're still in a marriage, some kind of a marriage or a serious relationship, you're going to see a lot of times your partners, your own partner, the woman or the man you sleep with in your bed, that person starts hating on you. The individual starting hating on you for no reason. They move different. They start acting out. They start shouting all over the place, all around the house. People will start to hate you. People, let me tell you something. If a person was awakened and you've stepped out of that box and you've stepped out of that illusion of dating toxic people and relationships, most of the times, if you're still with your girlfriend, that's why you see a lot of times post-awakening, you're going to see sometimes people, a lot of these women, men and women, sometimes you will see yourself separating from them all of a sudden. You just wake up and you think that this individual is not good for you anymore, because it looks like you guys are moving different. It's like you're going towards a different direction, and it's like you can no longer resonate with their energy. So sometimes you find yourselves getting out of their energy, just automatically, just slowly but gradually. You're taking yourself out of that relationship. So that's why you see a lot of divorces are coming in. People are starting to separate. People are getting divorced because they have got a wife who is still deep asleep in the matrix, and then this person is awake. And then all of a sudden, these are two individuals who are no longer on the same wavelength. You see, the thing is, before you get the awakening, you're still on that matrix level whereby you're resonating with everybody around you. So there's a lot of people, because you guys already know the matrix. That's why you find the masses, the crowds, the masses. Everybody around you is usually almost like sleepwalking. So you're looking around you. Now you're seeing people, you're like, these individuals are sleeping. You're looking at your wife the next day, the third day. I remember that day when I woke up, that day when I got the awakening, when the switch went on, the bulbs went on. I remember the next, that evening, I remember my partner walking in and I was like, this is not the same person I used to know. I just don't know what happened, but I realized that was not the same person I used to know for all these years. Something had already shifted, and I did not know how that shift happened. For a lot of you guys who have not been seeing my videos, I did a video about the shift. So that particular incident, I explained it in details, what was going on when I was going through the shift when I was waking up in those days. You look around you on your right and your left, and you're seeing your partners, and you're thinking that, no, this is not possible. You're seeing these individuals completely different. That's why even sometimes you've seen a lot of those guys manifest. Some of those demons. If you've been living with those demons in the same house, the very moment you snap out of that bubble, that individual comes to your right. You are going to see them for who they are. You are going to see the beasts for who they are. So when it comes to dating chosen ones, I want to let you know in this video that it's going to be very hard. It is going to be extremely hard, extremely difficult to date. Reason being that you are very cautious. Number one, you want to do conscious dating. You know what I mean? You have to be very conscious when it comes to relationships, partners and the things like that. You want to be very, very careful as you can. Because you're no longer on that same wavelength like the people used to date. You're going to see a lot of people who used to date before. They will come around and show up. They want to get in a relationship with you. They want to date you. Sometimes you see people following you from everywhere. People are going to be coming from different corners of the planet. They want to date you. But you realize always that you are not on the same wavelength, and you realize those individuals, you cannot get into a relationship with them. So dating is like a very complicated scenario when it comes to awakened individuals. You know what I mean? So awakened people like to date. Awakened people like to date people who are. You don't have to be, because like I've said, we all evolve at our own time. Everybody evolves differently at their own time. You know what I mean? In their own timing. So normally it comes to that point whereby you can sometimes compromise. You know what I mean? You can see sometimes an individual, especially I've told you guys in my videos, the easiest way you can do, or you can try to go on a date, you can try to look for a person who is an empath, because normally empaths, those individuals, it does not matter what level of growth they are. Most of the times, at least if they have awakened and snapped out of that bubble, those awakened empaths, usually it will be very easy for you to get into some kind of a meaningful relationship with them, because empaths, they're very good learners. You don't have to explain yourself all day, and you don't have to explain yourself all day and explain a lot of things. This is what that one means, and this is what the moment you start explaining to them what is this one, or what is this means, or what is that means, you will notice those individuals, they actually know what you're talking about, because those individuals, normally empaths, they kind of move at the same wavelength like other empaths. So that's why sometimes it's easy to date a person that is an empath. But you know what is the funny part? A lot of times when you're waking up, the very first people that is going to come into your life, they're not even close to empaths. Number one, they're not awakened, and they're not even close to empaths. Those are the individuals that the first individuals are going to show up. The very moment you snap and get out of that bubble, that is the first time you're going to notice a lot of guys are coming in. They're not even close to empaths, number one, and secondly, they're not even awakened. It is going to be difficult, people. I can guarantee you, it is going to be difficult post-awakening to find a relationship, a meaningful one. They will be there. They will come around. Many of them will come. There will be so many of them. They will come. It is somehow it's like people, they can feel your energy. You know what I mean? People, they can almost sense your energy from a distance. And the very moment they click, that is probably an empath somewhere out there on the other side of the world, they're going to swing in straight away. But the very moment they swing in, that's when they're going to realize it is just simply it is just simply the next demon. You know what I mean? So you have got to be, in my own understanding and advice I would give you guys, you have got to be patient. When it comes to dating, you have got to be patient. The first thing what you're supposed to take as a priority as a person who is awakened, you've gotten so much information, you know so many things. You've stepped your foot behind your eyes behind the veil. You've stepped behind the veil. You can see a lot of things. The fog is lifted. You understand people in a much more deeper level. You understand all these spiritual facts. You're supposed to know that normally the next move for you is usually going to be working on yourself. So in those early days of awakening, the first thing what you do before you start thinking about finding a relationship, because I know most of the guys, they are like, oh, they are too lonely, and they want to very quickly jump into a new relationship after the narcissist, after the psychopath. They want to find somehow through 2-3 months, they want to find somebody new. I can guarantee you guys, it is not going to work because you haven't even started doing the work. It is not going to work because you have not even started doing the work. So most of the times you are going to attract a lot of these narcissists. They are going to come along your way, and they are going to sometimes block you, even sometimes if not, take you completely off your path. So most of the times, the most important thing to realize is you need to give yourself a lot of time. So personally, I can say, because I think I closed that dating chapter about 2 years ago, if I remember properly, if I remember well, it could have been like 2 years ago. But guys, I can guarantee you, without disruptions, without interruptions, without chaos, without noise, I've been able to move very, very far away from where I used to be. But now you can imagine, if I had taken a decision those days to say, okay, I'm going to try this date and I'm going to try that date, and sometime I would try to swim along with those kind of individuals, and I do not believe that I would have gotten this far. At least I wouldn't have gotten this far where I am today. So you have got to know, awakening individuals, awakening empaths in this video, you have got to know the steps of dating is: number one, sit down by yourself. The universe wants you to know you are going to sit down by yourself. The universe wants you to sit down by yourself, close yourself off, sit down with your own mind, think about things deeply, very deeply, analyze your life, where you have been, analyze the relationships you've been having before, try to think about the reason even why have you been in the first place attracting so many toxic relationships along your journey. You have got to think about those things, and you have got to do this alone. That's one of the things. You're going to do this alone. You're going to think about the reason why you've been attracting a lot of toxic relationships along your journey. Because I remember when I was doing this introspection, I did that introspection I told you guys about 3 years ago. So I was thinking in my mind that there could be something I need to break. You know what I mean? Because there's sometimes something within you. It is not even something about the other individuals. It is something that within you. You could be a codependent. If you have been involved with the toxic family, for example, you are born in a dysfunctional family, a lot of narcissists everywhere. You know, the father was a narcissist, the mother was a narcissist. You could even sometimes have got codependency issues, and you're codependent and you don't even know it. For me, in my case, I remember that I found out that actually I had been a codependent for a very long period of time. So I had to break out of this codependency, because it was the codependency, nobody that was pushing me out into very dangerous and toxic relationships. So I started to go behind the scenes. I started to look from the very beginning, what exactly happened many years ago. Then I noticed patterns of codependency. So that's when I knew that, okay, so it is because of those codependence tendencies. They were the same reason why I was keeping on attracting the same kind of people. You know what I mean? But for you to be able to attract that kind of person that you're looking for, the kind of person that is on your wavelength, you're supposed to, first of all, get out of dating scenes, relationships. You sit down by yourself, you put in the work. You work on yourself, you heal. Because a lot of people, they're moving around with trauma. You see a lot of these narcissists, they've got a lot of garbage in their mind. A lot of these toxic people, I can guarantee you guys, they have got so much garbage in their mind, and the only thing they need to do, they need to find somebody that they're going to date, and they can be able to dump their garbage onto them. That's why it's a lot of those relationships. They're very, very toxic. Excuse me, guys. I'll get the door. I'm coming. Oops. Okay, I couldn't like it. I thought I had it now. Okay, I can put it. Thank you. So a lot of narcissists, Guys, excuse me, sometime I told you that there will be somebody coming through the door. So, a lot of these narcissists, so what they do, they are coming in to find someone that they can dump their garbage because they have got a lot of garbage in their mind. So they need somebody to come into their life and help them to offload their garbage. So a person who has worked on themselves, if you're a person who has taken time alone and you have really worked on yourself, you realize you don't have any chance in your mind, in your life, to ever bring in a narcissist in your life. So the reason why sometimes it's important to take off and to take some time alone for yourself, that time is going to help you to self-reflect. You are going to reflect, you are going to go within, you are going to do the work. For you to be able to apply, to get into a meaningful relationship, you're going to go out and you're going to heal, you're going to take time alone and you're going to heal. The very moment when you heal, and you notice that you've gotten somewhere along your healing journey, it could sometimes take 2 years. Some people heal differently. Sometimes you find people they can heal within a year. Sometimes you can find people healing within a couple of months. Some people can heal within 2 years. Me personally, it has taken me a while to heal. There are some things I had to heal. It was not about the narcissist, because you see, when the narcissist leaves your life, and you figure out they are narcissists and you figure out they are not good for you, you leave them, you let them go. Now you are only standing by yourself, you're focusing on yourself and you're working on yourself. You heal those things about you that you do not like. The reason why you have got to heal, because you have got to heal and find out what is the basic reason why have you been attracting a lot of narcissists along your journey. Kathike says, yep, isolation is inevitable in order to go inwards and reflect. You have got to have a moment of self-reflection. You cannot keep on jumping from one narcissist to another. Guys, the amount of time you've already wasted on narcissists along your journey, it is already too much. So you are now stopping these dating things. You're doing some self-reflection. You have to know what has been along your journey. What has your life pattern has been along the way that was keeping on attracting so many narcissists along your life. What has been going on exactly? You need to know. You need to know all these things. Sometimes the problem could even sometimes have been started from the family. It could have started from your own family without you even knowing it. Your problems could have begun in your own family. So when it comes to relationships, dating, if you're awakened people, I can guarantee you that it's never going to be the same. It is never going to be the same. It is not going to be the same dating scene that you used to know. It is not going to be, the dynamics are always going to change after awakening, because for this first time in your life, in your entire life, you're able to see people exactly for who they are. Before, back in the days, people would come in, those narcissists would come in, you let them in, you take them in. Can I date you? Can we go on a date? Can I do this? You take everybody in. The friends will come around, you take them in. You're an empath. Because an empath is a person with good intentions. You do not intend anything for anyone, any harm for anybody. So you are taking in a lot of people unknowingly, because at some point in time you could have codependency issues, which could have originated from your family. But now you're waking up, you're realizing that you've been involved with toxicity, and you want to stop this pattern. So what do? You stop these dating scenes, you stop these dating things, you close off yourself, you isolate, like Kathike said, you go within. You do the work, because guys, I can guarantee you, after doing the work, that's when you're going to realize the beauty of the universe. That's when you're going to realize you are attracting the most beautiful souls on this universe. You're going to attract people that you never attracted before. Your family is going to find you. Your family is going to find you. I did not know anything about empaths until I started waking up. Those days when I woke up, so I was going through research. I was trying to understand about this empath. Who are empaths? What are they all about? How do they move? What do they do? So I went online and I started researching about empaths. And I found there are so many of them online. And a lot of, and let me tell you something, guys, what is even the funny part? A lot of empaths, they have done the work. If you go on these channels, there are some channels, public groups, maybe sometime on Facebook or Instagram, you can find there's so many empaths. They've already done the work. When you see an empath, people, let me tell you something. When you see an empath, if a person who has been doing some work on yourself and you have done some work on yourself and you feel in your soul that you're ready to let somebody into your life, at least at that point, you are ready to let somebody into your life. When you see another empath, you recognize those people are empaths like you. You guys on that frequency, you can always do your best to reach out to those individuals, because sometimes those individuals, they are thinking the same thing you're thinking. They are thinking like you. They are looking also for somebody, a beautiful soul like you. So when you meet out, when you see those individuals, whether you've seen them online, it could be a group, it could be there are sometimes these online groups and things like that. You reach out to those individuals and recognize those individuals are empaths. Probably you guys are speaking the same language. You should not be afraid, because you see the problem is, when it comes to dating for awakened individuals, it is very, very hard and very difficult for us to find the mates. So it is very difficult for you to find a person who can resonate and who can speak your language, who can resonate with you and who can also speak your language. So most of the times, you may have to put in the work, because if you're a person who has been working on yourself and you've gotten to that point whereby you feel you're ready for dating, you're ready to allow somebody in, you finally found what it is you want to do, maybe you're busy with your craft, there's something you've decided to do, and you're ready to date, you feel like, okay, so there is a space for me to date. You can always, people, let me tell you something, is one of the things what I've realized with empaths. Empaths are very closed people. They don't want to come out. Maybe some of them, they are shy. They don't want to come out in the open. They don't want to say exactly what they feel. I can guarantee you guys, you do not lose anything by reaching out to another soul. If you have seen somebody, you really like those individuals, you want to get to know them, you can always reach out, because when we're talking about empaths, we're not talking about empaths that you want to meet on the dating site, because those empaths, it is almost going to be impossible to meet an empath on the dating site. But if you have had the chance to recognize there's another empath in the neighborhood or somewhere else, and you can get in touch with them, you can always come out, say this is what you want to say, and let your point be known. You can always get in touch with them, because those same empaths, they have the same mind like you, they are thinking like you, and they also have the same ideas. The same way you think about dating is the same way. So it's like the same way you're struggling to date, to find somebody who is on your wavelength, is the same way that those other empaths also, they are struggling. And sometimes all it requires is for you to say the word and to make your point be known. So do not be shy when you meet somebody who has probably walked the same journey like you've done, and they have sometimes put in the work. Do not be shy to be able to reach out to those individuals. They may be actually looking for you as well. Because when you're a person who is awakened, you're not going to go online, these dating, regular dating sites, and try to find somebody, because I can guarantee you, it's never going to work. You will usually meet somebody, yes, you will meet them, and sometimes they can mirror you a little bit, and you think, oh, these individuals, we are thinking the same, we are moving the same direction, we're in the same wavelength. Before you know it, you're going to find out those individuals, they are toxic as fuck. There's a lot of people, guys, I can guarantee you, you can almost find a lot of people in relationships nowadays. You can find almost, there is 70% of people who are in the wrong relationships. You can find people in relationships in this moment, at this time, almost like 70% of them, they're with the wrong people. Somebody just met a girl because she has got a nice body. A woman just went to a guy because he's driving a nice car. He owns this company. He's living in that house. So people have got attachment issues when it comes to dating. But if you're a person who is awakened, you have got to recognize you're no longer that same person you used to be. So many things have changed about you. You understand people on a deeper level. You understand what it is you need. You understand the real meaning of toxicity. You know exactly who is toxic and who isn't. So it is a very small community of empaths. Normally, empaths, I can say, we're a minority. So it is not easy that you're going to walk out there and you're going to meet another empath all of a sudden. It might take you a whole year before you meet another empath. It might take you a couple of months before you meet a person who is on your wavelength. If you have recognized that individual is on your wavelength, that individual has got the same energy like you do, both of you are empaths, you mean well for each other, you can always be very straightforward with yourself, reach out to those individuals, let them know how you feel. Because sometimes I've told you guys, we do not have any known public online dating platform for empaths, or rather, better yet, awakened individuals. It is not going to be easy that you're going to go out online and you will see, oh, there's a site there for people who is awake, and it's a dating site, things like that. There are so many of them around there, but these individuals, they are not going to come out to you and they are not going to say anything. They may like you sometimes secretly, but they will not tell you they do like you. It is going to take them a lot of time before they reach out to you and tell you that they like you. If you have seen those individuals, I'm only talking about the individuals who have done the work. If you have spent a lot of time working on yourself, you are putting the work, you have reached a point whereby you are ready for dating. You have recognized or you have identified another empath on the other side. Feel free, come out, speak, let your point be known. If it is toxic, you will know it is toxic. If it works out, it may work out, it may not. But at the end of the day, you are still trying with the person who resonates with your energy, who can read your energy, and the person who speaks your language. So either way, you don't lose anything by trying. So dating, I just want to make it open because I know sometimes when it comes to dating, people are a little bit shy and people don't want to talk about these kind of things. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you realize that everybody needs somebody at some point. You know what I mean? So we are gone. We are done with the narcissists. We are done with the toxicity. We are done with all this kind of whatever codependent relationships. If you're a person who has been there, you went out and did the work, you've healed yourself, you know what it is you want in your life, you've gotten out of the way, you now find out there is some things you can do for yourself, you have moved on to become at least a better version of yourself. It is always important when you see somebody who is in your wavelength, you reach out to them because we do not have a common platform to meet. If a person is going to go and date from these local sites, you know, some local sites in your town, I can guarantee you guys 110%. You are still going to meet a person who is toxic. A lot of these toxic individuals, they're using these dating sites to fish for supply. So when you're talking about these narcissists and whatever toxic people like that, they are also using these platforms to they're using these platforms to fish for supply. So like Paco says, Paco Magolodi says semen retention. So some men, they decide to go into semen because normally this happens to the men who are very deep into their journey. So they want to really get into their purpose, their craft, or whatever it is. So some of them, they do semen retention. But I'm talking about at the end of that semen retention, at the end of the day, you still may have to get into some kind, you may feel the need to get into a relationship. And when that need, when that need comes, when need be, you need to find the right way to do it, and you need to find the right channels to meet the people that resonate with your energy and can read your language. You're not going to sit down with somebody, for example, and you're telling them about spiritual awakening, you're telling them about this thing, you're telling these individuals about spiritual language. They do not understand what you're talking about. You cannot date somebody. The reason why I'm telling you guys that it's much more easier to date somebody who can speak your language. Because when you date some people and you're not speaking the same language, those individuals, they will never understand you. You're dating somebody who is very deep asleep in the matrix. You're a person who is awakened. You have acquired so much knowledge, you know so many things, you have moved yourself out of that box. You go back and date into the box, I can guarantee you it is never going to work. Because you guys are going to be speaking different languages. This individual is telling you about clubs, about drugs, about let's go to the beach, let's go this way, let's go that way. You're talking about things about the fifth dimension. So you had better then believe that you can date somebody who will actually know the language that you're talking about. You are both going to be vibrating on the same wavelength. You are both at the same frequency. You can talk about spiritual stuff. You're not going to have to explain to somebody that you need some time to meditate. You're not going to have to explain yourself that you need some time to pray. Maybe they should give you some time to pray, or maybe sometime you need time alone. A lot of empaths need time alone to recharge. There's so many empaths when they have been overwhelmed by society, by crowds, by the public. Sometimes they need time by themselves to recharge, even without sometimes their partners. Sometimes you don't have to explain a lot of things to somebody who knows what language you're talking about. You just tell them you need some time alone. They will understand that you're going to recharge, and the same with them as well. You know what I mean? So dating, all I have to say in this video that dating is never the same. For a person who is awakened, everything completely changes. You will now start to realize that you can no longer date the same way you used to do. Sometimes even you meet your exes. Most of the time when you are post-awakening, the moment you meet your exes, you realize those individuals, even you give them a chance. In those days that you were with them, in those years, I don't know, months or whatever, you even just did them a favor to date them. The moment you work on yourself, guys, let me tell you something. There's one thing about healing. Healing hits differently. Healing hits different when you meet a person that you've dated many years ago, months ago, or maybe years ago. You have healed. You're a beautiful being. You have worked on yourself. You're growing. You're vibing high. When you meet those individuals that you've dated before, you are going to realize, even for you to be with those individuals, you did them a very big favor. You do not even want to sit in that same place where they are sitting, because you know those individuals, they have not done the work. They are still as toxic as they were when you left them. That is the same way they are going to die most of the times. If you're talking about these narcissists and whatever, these toxic guys, they are going to die like that. That's what they're going to end all their lives. You will meet them most of the time along your journey, and you'll notice, for you to be able to get into relationships with those individuals, you did them a favor. You did them a very big favor to be with them. So, chosen ones, once you have healed, look for your tribe. I'm not telling you to go online and for the most of you guys, many of you guys are out there, you're still on semen retention, you're trying to discover yourself, you know what I mean? You're trying to discover your purpose, to do different things. But when you get at the end at some point, and you really have to go into dating, you have got to know who is your tribe. You have got to know the right people to date. Those are the individuals who are in your wavelength. Those are the individuals who can read your energy. Those are the individuals who can speak your language. That's the only way out to date for an awakened empath. Other than that, you can forget about it. You cannot date an ordinary people like you used to do before. So everything changes from the moment of post-awakening. So guys, of course, let me know if there's something I've said that makes sense. Of course, I know you guys, I know a lot of you guys have been asking yourselves about these questions of dating. You've been wondering why you cannot get a date, why you cannot get into relationships or things like that, why you're all of a sudden alone for long periods of time. There could be a reason for your loneliness. Maybe the universe wants you to evolve. Maybe the universe wants you to grow. So maybe you need some time alone to grow, to evolve, to become the highest version of yourself. But at the end of the day, if you feel you're a person who is ready for that move, you just need to know who to date, and you just need to know who are you going to bring into your life. That person has got to be the person who means you well, and the person who is going to help you also to push you further, becoming the highest version of yourself. If you're a person who wants to know, to say something on this video before I close, I'll give you a chance. If you want to talk about dating, I'll give you a chance. I'll invite you. Just let me know in the chat box. I will invite you. Give us an idea about what it is you think about this, and then after that we shall close the video. So let us know, guys. I'm waiting for. I'll invite at least 1 or 2 people maximum to give us their views on dating post-awakening. What is your experience, and what have you met along your journey? Share with us and let us know what you think. And then I'll close the video after that. Anybody wants to come in, let me know. Okay, let's see here. Who is saying? Nash Beats from Namibia moved to South Africa about 4 months ago. I've noticed things are starting to work in a certain pattern, continuously manifesting and learning more about me and people around me. So that is from Nash Beats. Nash Beats, you sound like a music producer or something like that. So B-Mac says, I must continue to wait for God to reveal who he wants for me. Never was interested in dating sites. So that is B-Mac. Just like I've been saying, the dating sites, that's not an option. Lil Jam doesn't do dating sites at all. Please check out Monk Mode Maniacs here. That's Poco Mogolodi. Okay, I will do that, Paco. Who wants to share with us, guys, before I close the video? If you want to share us your views about dating, let us know. I will invite you on this video. You will tell us about your views before we close. Afro Betty, hello. Afro Betty, you're late today. We're talking about dating. So, guys, if you want to share with us what has been your experience about dating, follow that link. There's a link in the chat room. Follow that link. I will invite you here. We shall discuss what has been your dating experience, and then we shall close the video. So there's a link. Afro Betty, I don't date anymore. So there's a link I've put in the chat room. You use that link. If you want to share with us your experience about dating, we shall give a chance at least 1 or 2 people, then we shall leave the video. I will wait since being awakened. I can see Naxor around me. That's JB. So JB is going through a divorce from the narcissist. Guys, I would like somebody to come online, share with us your dating experience post-awakening. What has been happening? What has been happening in your journey with as regards dating? So I'm going to be doing interactive, guys. We're going to be doing an interactive video. So a lot of my videos, when I come out in the future, we're going to be doing interactives. I want you guys to participate. You know what I mean? I want you guys to come around, share with us experiences, what has been going on in your life, especially about whether it is about narcissism, whether it's about spirituality. I will now give you guys platforms to come and speak. I've told you guys one of the things that helped me along my journey, I had to start to speak. I was a person who was very, very quiet. You would never get a word from me in those days. But when I woke up, I realized I'd been silent for years, and I had to start speaking. So speaking is one of the things you will open you up. Thanks for everything, Denzo. You are a true godsend. I appreciate you, JB. I've been reading your comments, guys. There is a link in the, I've told you guys there's a link. There is a link in the chat box. You want to share with us your dating experience, use that link. I'll invite you on this channel. If not, we're going to be closing the video. All right, guys, it looks like nobody's coming on board, so I'll let you guys go. For the most of you guys who have just joined us, I hope you can catch. I'm going to be uploading the video after this live. Go back there and watch the video. We've been talking about dating post-awakening and the way we see dating as people who are highly awake. and what we understand about dating when it comes to dating. So until then, guys, it's been lovely to have you guys on board. For the most of you guys who have donated to my channel, I always appreciate you, and God bless you. For the most of you guys who have been with us on this channel, on this live feed, I also appreciate each and every one of you. I've been reading and tagging your comments as well. So until then, I'll catch you in my next one, guys. And much love and blessings, guys. Desmond signing out. Peace.